Watch your style.
Gekido Advance made its way to the GBA in 2002 and re-released in most modern consoles in 2018. Although, does that mean the original GBA game was worthy of a re-release? Let's find out. A sequel to Gekido on the PlayStation, a game which I would consider a hidden gem. Initially planned for the Game Boy Color, early prototype demo build shows off multiple playable characters, and the devs were certainly persistent for the inclusion of bats and dogs. Developed by Italian studios Naps team, this is basically a single player brawler with emphasis on exploration, avoiding obstacles, talking to NPCs, and obviously beating up bad guys. Starting up with an anime style cutscene, Tetsuo, martial arts badass, one day visiting his sensei gets told that town folks are missing and the dead are rising. Now it's up to our protagonist to get to the bottom of this, and our game begins. What I like about the game. Visually, the game looks lovely and still holds up. Sprites are huge, the frames of animation are fluid, you could appreciate the subtleties such as the idle animation. The art direction felt reminiscent to the SNK games. The combat mechanics are simple but they work, limited to 3 buttons, jump, kick and punch. Unfortunately no blocks here. Pressing a variation of kick and punch inputs, we could chain together combo attacks, pulling off a variety of cool moves. Random enemies will drop collectible power-ups when they die. Power-ups like increasing the player's speed, invisibility and increased damage. Also there are some power downgrades, disenabling the player from pressing any attacks and also reversing directional movement. Not sure why power downgrades is a thing, but hey ho. Power-ups don't last long, but it's a nice feature to have, mixing up the gameplay. You might have noticed a gauge on screen. It builds up every 10 seconds or so. It flashes when the special move is ready to use, inflicting enemies nearby. Although its damage is weak, it's a great tactical tool and certainly useful to destroy these pesky bats. With emphasis on exploration, a core element to this game is to find keys and switches to access previously inaccessible areas. Luckily, when you backtrack to previous locations, defeated enemies don't respawn, only weaker filler ones, like these guys. The cutscenes before boss battles are a nice touch, building up tension, with a total of 5 boss stages. Each with uninterruptible attack patterns you'll have to learn. Bosses offered a fair challenge and broke up the stages nicely. Survival is everything here in Gekido. It helped that when some enemies died, they dropped items to replenish health. This is certainly needed. The game goes for the approach of having 5 levels but making them very challenging. We start the game off with 5 continues. Luckily we get rewarded an extra continue once we complete a level. This takes me to what I didn't like about the game. At times it felt like there were endless hordes of enemies, literally popping out the ground every corner. Playing like a survival mode from a verse game, the game didn't flow smoothly. This is very apparent in later stages as the enemies pile up. Often we will be stuck on a static screen for a while until we could progress further. There are around 3 or 4 tracks in the entire game. Unfortunately, on a short and constant loop, the soundtrack got repetitive quick. At times there's too much happening on screen, from obstacles, bats and enemies popping out the ground all at the same time. These bats with a small hitbox were irritating to attack, and the fast-paced dogs running across the screen can't be attacked, only avoided. It's not a major issue, but the game can be better off without the inclusion of bats and dogs. With platforming sections, where you avoid threats coming from above, rolling concrete pillars and pits where you could plummet through. At certain sections of the game, obstacles and pits were placed in tight spots, making jump challenges unfair. Just take a look. Through my initial playthrough, I found Gekido frustrating, but it slowly grew on me. Gekido Advance is geared towards hardcore fighting fans and players who are persistent, definitely not for the casual gamer. If you like what you see, you might want to give the GBA game a miss, as it's quite pricey. Luckily, the re-release is cheaper and offers the extra feature of 2-player co-op mode. Anyways guys, as always, it's been a pleasure and I want to thank you for watching my channel.